The wise one. There were a king who had 11 sons and a daughter. Her name was Eliza. On the third children, bright and quickliness, they were living happily in their cattle, until one day when the king decided to get married again. He was feeling lonely after the sad demise of his wife. The children were waiting for their new mother, but they experienced a different picture. The new queen was a witch and didn't treat the children well. She sent Eliza to a remote place with a patient and his wife. She said the 11 princes that the king ordered them to leave the castles and cast a spell on them. The prince turned into beautiful swans instead of ugly birds and flew away from the castle. When Eliza turned 15, she was allowed to return to the castle and met the king. The queen applied the cream on Eliza's face and her hands to make Eliza become ugly. The king chased Eliza out of the castle when he saw that she was ugly. Eliza started the journey in search of her brothers. She reached at the far end of the forest. She saw an old lady. She showed her the way to her brother's place. Eliza came to the river met the ocean. She spotted 11 feathers of white swans lying near seaweed. She thinks she will find her brother soon. As the sun was setting, 11 swans were lying in the sky and landed near her. Then they turned into 11 princes. Then they arrived at a house and slept up there. At night, when Eliza was sleeping, she screamed that the fairy came to meet her and showed her the remedy to help her brothers out of the curse. Once she got up, she decided to do as the fairy's word. She started picking the needles, brought them to the coast, crushed them into quartz, and whisked them into carts. A small had her. One day, when she was picking the needles, she saw the king of this plan. Eliza has no option than to go to with the king after his invitation. They arrived at the king's castle, but Eliza was unhappy. The king brought on things of her for her. She continued walking. She weighed 10 carts. As she was about to reach the last one, she ran out of the needles. She went out to collect the needles, but she was discouraged and taken the car. She was kept in a gravity cage and convicted to islands. The next morning, just then a man brought on her cars and whacked real inside the cage. Then the mouse brought her many needles. She kept weaving the last curse till they took her out in the morning. The 11 swans sat around the cars to protect her. Eliza rewound the cars on the swan one by one, and they returned into 11 brains. They explained everything in one case their sister. Then the king asked Eliza to marry him. Later, they captured the evil queen's kingdom and imprisoned her for a lifetime. The king was thus freed from the witch spell. They all lived happily ever after.